It has been an American tradition since 1921. And this year, the Miss America pageant made significant and very successful changes, switching formats to a reality series leading up to the pageant's finale, where Indiana's Katie Stam took the crown. She joins us along with two past winners who have helped change the face of the pageant, actress and television personality Susan Powell, Miss America 1981, and our own Gretchen Carlson, co-host of Fox and Friends and Miss America 1989. Welcome, all of you.
Thank you.
Wow. Do you realize how outclassed I am here today? I'm sitting here with three Miss Americas.
Well, we were working on that. It took us all morning, but we worked.
Yeah, but Susan, the camera people have already said that the people will hear my voice, but they will not see me on the show today.
Oh, goodness. I don't know.
Well, thank you for bringing us all together.
This is great. And you know, Miss America has had such an incredible long tradition. I remember as a kid, which was a long time ago, but when Miss America pageant came on, everything stopped. It was the Super Bowl. It was the Super Bowl. All of America stopped. Everyone watched that Saturday night. It was the thing you looked forward to doing, and you waited until Bert Parks came out and made the announcement and sang the song. And if your state was in the top 10, you cheered and you hoped so much. Then Miss America in the last 7 or 8 years went through a tough time.
Well, because of cable.
Why?
I think because of cable.
Too many options?
So many that television changed so dramatically with the invention of 1,050 channels. So
But
many
we're back on
options.
track. We're back on track. We had phenomenal talent at this year's pageant. Katie came out on top, and Susan and I had the good fortune of participating in the reality series leading up to it. Katie was my winner on my episode, so I was looking out for Indiana when I was in Las Vegas at the pageant.
Well, you know how to pick them then, obviously.
Well, she did a fabulous job, and she's going to be a great representative.
She's a great Miss America, and it was interesting to put that. It was interesting to have the reality series building up to it because we participated in the reality series. We did get to meet the girls beforehand and kind of get a feel for what was going to happen on that Saturday night.
And it was great for us contestants too, because we got to live with each other for 3 weeks out in Los Angeles while we were filming it. So it was a really great experience all around.
How tough was it for the pageant to reinvent itself, which is essentially what we've done?
It was tough.
It was extremely, extremely tough. But the great thing is that we've got a phenomenal board of directors in the Miss America organization who knew what we needed to do in order to turn this program around. And you know what? We had the highest rated show on cable television that night, and we were third highest overall television shows. So it was a really great and successful night.
Like, here's what happened. A couple of years ago, some people who were running the pageant wanted to take talent out of the Miss America pageant. And those of us who entered the pageant specifically for the talent reason, it was 50% of our points.
Yeah.
You know, we had a heart attack at that concept of it being gone, because that would make the Miss America program just like any other pageant, which is what we've worked so hard to make people understand.
Well, I think it's like a lot of things. When you go into transition, they were trying desperate measures. They said, people are bored with the talent. The ratings are sinking during talent. So they said, let's take all the talent away instead of maybe...
At a time when the whole American Idol was focusing talent and everybody in the world's watching it.
But it was a desperate attempt to try to save, and then what it did was make it worse. And people were crying out and saying, you know, I mean, people who love the pageant and people, you know, I mean, they would watch it once a year like you would say, that was the reason the family gathered around, was to see the talent and their classic Miss America talent.
Okay, I want to address an issue that I think we've got to talk about, because there's long been this sort of general criticism. Well, the Miss America pageant is basically a beauty pageant. I happen to know, and I know you guys would certainly be able to articulate this, this is a tough competition, and it's not about beauty and swimsuits. It really is about the talent, but it's also about platforms. And Gretchen, you had a very important role to help bring about the idea of having platforms.
Well, I was a really serious classical violinist, and so Miss America afforded me the opportunity to perform on a daily basis. So I had the opportunity to reach out to so many kids in schools and to just as general public to let them know what this program was really about. And so that year I spoke a lot about the arts, and the next year the Miss America program developed something called the Platform, where now Katie will spend her year with a sense of purpose, which really added something to the program.
It's really about scholarships, and you're a Stanford graduate. Oxford study. I mean, that's not exactly the domain of somebody who's an airhead, to be blunt.
No, but
not
it's
at
interesting
all.
what happens when you become Miss America, because it's almost as if your resume goes out the window. And actually it's something that you live with for the rest of your life in positive and negative ways. But hopefully by you having us on the show, I mean, people can again see that this is an intelligent program. 35% of your points are based on interview. a huge portion on talent. I mean, look at what Susan's doing now. She's still performing all these years later.
I was of the generation with no platform, just platform shoes.
What would your platform have been? What would your platform have been?
Make as much money as possible.
You know what I was hoping you would say world peace.
And
world peace.
I want to throw this out too. With the emphasis on education and the emphasis on scholarship, Miss America is the largest provider of scholarships for young women. We give away $45 million every single year for women to
through all the
further
state
their
pageants.
Exactly.
And wouldn't it be a
Local
tragedy
state.
if that were to go under? I mean, I know so many. I mean, we are sitting here lucky enough to, and there's a huge element of luck too, by the way, and timing. But we were lucky enough to have won it. But I love the stories. The stories I love the most are on the local and the state level, in every state where you hear miraculous stories about girls who literally would never have left their hometowns, which is not a horrible thing, but they could never have had the education and shot for the stars had they not had the money and the experience doing this pageant.
And Katie, you come from a small town.
I do.
Seymour, Indiana.
That's right.
Your folks are corn farmers out there. Did you dream as a little girl, I'm going to be Miss America someday?
I did. It's so funny. Ever since I can remember, I have always looked up to Miss America. She was my American Idol, my role model. And so even as a little girl, 3 and 4 years old, I set that goal for myself to become Miss America. And I've reached that.
You know what's painful for me? I remember the time in my life when I realized that I had gotten old enough that I no longer was seeing Miss America as a possible date, but I was old enough to be her dad.
Oh, goodness.
You know that things have kind of gone downhill.
It's worse when you're a former and you know you could be her mom.
Well, you know, when I've got a daughter older than the Miss Americas have been for the last 5 years, that hurts. I got to tell you, it
Well,
really
I'll
hurts.
let you guys know when I get there.
Well, none of you look like you're ever going to get there. Some of us look like we've been there many, many times over. And we're going to keep you here for a few minutes if you will stay. And we're going to talk about Katie's career ambition is to be a television reporter. Now, I think we ought to let you try out today. Hey, Fox may hire you.
Well,
I mean,
we'll
look, if they'll have me, believe me. You got a real shot at this.
Oh.
Why don't you take us out to the break?
All right.
All right.
That's good. Coming up, improving our children's education, equal pay regardless of race or gender, and the growing trend of community volunteering. Plus, Oscar-nominated actress Rosie Perez is using her star power to brighten the lives of inner-city children. Stay tuned.